It's really. I saw on Twitter you said we mustn't promote fake news, we mustn't spread rumors, it must be scientific. So, I don't know about your lockdown and your government strategy about just blanketing the entire country with vaccines and making everyone sit at home and die, but I wanted to ask you about this. So, look here, I had a thought, and I've seen some results in some podcasts coming out of the UK and Europe. So, this is a community. And there's my mom and there's my dad, granny, grandpa, brother, sister. And granny and grandpa, they're vulnerable to the virus. They've got underlying conditions, so we don't want them to get the virus. These are the guys who fall in that 1%. The rest of the people here, they're the local community. That's the other 99% of the country who get bad cold, bad flu symptoms. Most people just get a snotty nose or the sniffles. Some people don't even notice that they get the virus. So here we go. And this red guy here, that's the virus coming into our town. So what you've done with your lockdowns is you've taken the entire town and you've put masks on everyone. No one gets exposed to the virus. Everyone just locks down and hides away. So virus runs rampant. And at any given time, if that virus gets to that guy, he has been wearing a mask, he hasn't got herd immunity or built up an immunity yet, then it jumps to that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. It can go to granny, it can go straight to granny and grandpa. So this doesn't really work, does it? Because in nature, these people here are supposed to block the infection from getting to the weakest. That's how herd immunity normally works. Obviously, the people are going to die. Let's be realistic here. We're all grown-ups, and this is Earth and life. But we've got granny and grandpa here. Now, what if we never had a lockdown? What if I said to granny and grandpa, look here, guys, you two here, stay inside, wear masks, wash hands, get the family to drop off food for you, take all the precautions you can. Stay out of the public space. We need to get herd immunity to protect you. Then all the other people here in the town, they all don't wear a mask. They all carry on with their jobs. There's no lockdown. There's no economic devastation. Lives aren't lost due to malnutrition and suicide and job losses and all that crap that's gone on now. But all these people here get exposed, and most of them get the sniffles. Some of them are going to get like really miff. They're going to get sick and they're going to vomit and diarrhea and like bad flu. But out of all of these here, like, I don't know, one or two might get pushed into hospital. But the majority, because remember there's a 0.03 fatality rate, and we're looking at like less than 99% of people get really ill. So all of these people here, in the space of 4 to 6 months, maybe a year at max, will get exposed to the virus, and they'll all develop a natural immunity. And then granny and grandpa who've been sitting at home or taking care of themselves and isolating themselves, when Mr. Virus tries to penetrate and it infects that guy there, he's already had the virus. So he's got immunity. It was never going to move on. It's just going to get blocked. And every time Mr. Virus tries to get into the community like that, it gets blocked. Now, this is a very basic description of it, but this is just my mind working out how it works. I don't see where your guys' theory works here. Because the moment we put masks on, Mr. Virus can jump because no one's developed immunity to it. So this is where a focused approach on the vulnerable, sort of, in my opinion, outclasses your lockdown and your blanket vaccine. Now, getting back to vaccines as well, you've taken this approach here, and we've got the town, and we've got granny and grandpa are vulnerable, and we're going to give granny and grandpa a vaccine first. Now, granny and grandpa's vaccine, it's been tested on fairly healthy people, so the efficacy might not be as high, but let's say it gives them a 50 or 60% efficacy. So they stand like a half a fighting chance here. All these people here, according to you, are going to get vaccines as well. Okay, so all of these people here shouldn't get that ill. But you know what? From what I understand, these people here wouldn't get that ill anyway. So why we give them a vaccine? Because if I listen to what you guys are saying, when you take a vaccine, it stops you from getting ill, but it doesn't stop transmission. So even though these guys have worn masks and got vaccine, the virus hits here and it goes ting, ting, ting right through again, like at the beginning, because these people don't get sick, so they don't get their snotty noses and their colds and their flu and everything. But there's still transmission, because I've also heard rumors that, and you must please clarify this to me, that people have to still wear masks and social distance and all of this rubbish still once the vaccine's been rolled out, which is sort of pointless to me. But then we spend all this money on all these vaccines, and the people still have to get infected and bounce around to get herd immunity. Just the vaccines are going to lessen the death rate, from what I understand, but I don't understand that, because we've got a 0.03% fatality rate, and 1% get really horribly ill, and the other 99%, we get a terrible flu, we get snots. Most people, from what doctors said, might not even know they had it. They get the sniffles. So surely we're going to spend money on a vaccine for granny and grandpa, and it must be a tested vaccine. So I don't think that many people will mind waiting an extra year or two for that tested vaccine. But if they're willing to, it's their human right to say, I'll take an experimental medication. You can't stop us, like with ivermectin. If I think it'll save my life, I should be allowed to take it. My doctor should be allowed to prescribe it to me, because it's his oath to try and protect and do all that he can do for me. I think it was in the Geneva Convention, or one of the protocols. I'll look it up for you. So, getting back here, we're spending 300 billion rand, to pick a number, on vaccinating everyone, when we should spend 100 million to vaccinate 5%, at risk 1%, and maybe our frontline workers. And then everyone else here shouldn't be wearing the masks, shouldn't be locked down, should be carrying on with business as usual, because a healthy immune system is developed when people are happy, relaxed, outside, eating well, less stress as possible. If we lock people away in cages, just like they've shown with animals, animals get sick, bite each other's tails off, do all sorts of strange and wonderful things. So if we left these people alone and just allowed them to take the brunt of it, it sounds ruthless, but remember, up to 99% of people just get mild symptoms, might get a bad flu or not. It's only fatal to 0.03%. So let's say it's completely dangerous to 1%. So 99% could have taken that knock. We could have developed a herd immunity by now, because it's, say we had it in March, but in reality, they found a patient X, using X just for a number, in England who had, which means that the POMs even had the virus running around for a few months before that. There were flights coming in and out of China to South Africa before that. So in all likelihood, we had mild doses of COVID rolling around long before our first death was recorded, or long before we decided to do anything about it. So by now, we probably would be sitting with complete or near complete herd immunity, and we'd have a couple of people, the 1%, and our frontline workers treating them, and they would be at risk. And then that 1% who are at risk, we wouldn't have our hospitals overflowing. We would have adequate protection, adequate medication, adequate treatment for them. So of that 0.03%, maybe we could bring that number down even more. We could give them ivermectin and chloroquine and all these things that you guys have stopped. So I don't get the whole thing. Can you see where I'm looking at a focused approach here? I don't see just spraying money at everything and not having any structure in it is going to help anything. We could have saved all that money and gone and built toilets and hospitals and schools and varsities and libraries and homes and waterworks and dams and stuff that are needed. So, me being a dumb guy, explain to me how your vaccine immunity lockdown supersedes this focused approach. And I know you guys don't do interviews, and you've got that super slick Professor Slim who's come out and rubbished ivermectin and chloroquine in the media, and I don't see where he gets the grounds to do that, because he hasn't read the reviews coming out, has he? Has he conducted? He's an HIV specialist. Not taking a knock at you. Oh, actually, I am, mate. Stick to HIV. So, we've got this here. Can you come back to us, or to me, or to South Africans in general, and say, why have we chosen your approach rather than a focused approach, where we just protect them, let everyone get on with the job, save money, save lives, save the economy? More people are dying of starvation. More people are going to commit suicide. More jobs and business. I think half the people who are getting sick now are probably doing so from all the stress. Because you know what? We're all losing our businesses. We're all losing our clients. We're all losing our income. Kids can't go to school. People can't eat. That makes people more sick. So I don't understand how you focus on this when you're making people sick. It's the government flu, mate. So can you come back and just tell me how your approach and your focus of locking everyone down, masking everyone, making people hide away scared, and then waiting a year and a half and then vaccinating and then allowing them to spread with the vaccine so you can't get sick, but I wouldn't have got sick, but we can't spread it forward to build immunity. See where I'm going? Rather than just saying, hey guys, protect the vulnerable, granny and grandpa. Because if we wear masks here, I think we're throwing granny and grandpa under the bus because we're not allowing us to take the brunt of the virus. We're letting them get direct exposure to it. So you tell me, I want to know why this doesn't work and yours does. Because this saves a lot of lives, a lot of money, a lot of inconvenience, saves the economy, saves travel, saves tourism, saves all of that. That's what it does, in my opinion. I might be fucking stupid, but that's what I think. But your approach, where we just shut everything down and hope for immunity from a vaccine, I don't know. Can you just tell me that? Do me a favor, just answer that in detail. Or just have a press conference where I can come sit there and I can get a whole bunch of other people and we can all sit around and you can explain to us and we can ask questions. We can have an interactive debate. Not something where you stand on TV and go A, B, C, D, close down and we never hear from you. Let's try this approach, eh? Because I think that's how democracy works. This isn't communist China, mate. This is South Africa. We have a constitution and we have human rights. Let's start acting like we have human rights in a constitution.